喂，大家好啊！今日咧，我哋咧又好開心啦，我哋揾到呢個英國本地嘅 properties agent 可以同我哋傾偈嘅。OK， 但係我哋之後我哋會用英文溝通啦，因為佢係西人嚟嘅。咁啊，OK，today we are great to have Lisa, the letting agent of Green Tree Properties, helping us to explain what she is doing here in the UK to help you guys to find a house here to let. And we have a Rainbow. Yeah, my friend from Hong Kong. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. So say hello to everybody. Okay, Lisa, can you tell us what's your daily job?
So I'm the owner of Green Tree Property Management. We're a letting agency based in Swindon, which is in the southwest of England. And my career has been based in housing, generally working for local authorities and social housing providers. And then we launched our business just over a year ago in March 2021. Since then, we've helped people find their properties, some short-term, some longer-term properties. And my day-to-day work really involves working with the tenants, dealing with any repairs and maintenance needs they have, working with the landlords, processing rent payments and advertising properties for people to move into.
Yep. Lisa, can you tell me the difference about the long-term and short-term letting?
Yes.
Yep.
So when we meet with the landlord for the first time with a property that they want to let out, we'll have a conversation around how long they want that property to be let out for. Most landlords would prefer a longer term tenant. It means that they're reassured somebody's in there, they're going to look after the property for the long term. We haven't got to go through advertising very frequently. The shorter term ones tend to be rooms in shared houses, where people are using it as a stopgap for a short period of time, or for people who are working in the area just for a few months perhaps.
Oh, so less than 6 months is a kind of short term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know as many as Hong Kong people is coming over to the United Kingdom through the BNO visa program. So did you recently facing a lot of Hong Kong people finding houses around here?
I know you've got a long waiting list of people because we speak quite frequently, don't we, about what property I have available, you know, for the people who you're looking on their behalf. But I think as a whole, Swindon has got a very good ethnic mix of families in the area. I know you said Rainbow, you felt really welcomed in your community where we housed you, which was lovely to hear. And I think a lot of that's to do with where Swindon's placed in terms of commuting. So we're 35 miles from Bristol, an equal distance from Reading, and less than 1 hour from London on the train.
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
quite
that really
convenient.
is very convenient.
Yeah.
So I think that attracts a lot of people to the area.
Yeah. So Rainbow, when did you arrive in the United Kingdom?
4th of March， 3月4號我係嚟到 Swindon 嘅。
Okay, so you can speak Cantonese. Okay, so arrived here at the early of March.
Yeah.
Okay, and how Lisa helped you to find the properties?
Can I speak in Cantonese?
Of course you
My
can.
friends, yes.
Yes.
其實就咁嘅，即係我知道咧 ，Alex 咧就可以揾到本地嘅 agency 去幫我手啦，去揾屋啦。咁我亦都當時知道咗我幾時會過嚟㗎啦。咁所以我就要早2-3個月啦，至少咁我就要穩定。即係例如我要話俾佢聽，我想揾邊一區啦，我個要求係咩？幾多個 bedrooms 啦？有幾多個人嚟啦？有冇啲咩特別要求？即係例如有冇老人家啦，即係如果有老人家，可能係地下要有一個房俾佢住咁之類，因為唔使成日上上落落。咁當我講咗呢一啲要求之後咧，咁佢就Alex 就幫我揾咗阿 Lisa 啦，就去幫我手去揾一啲屋咯喎。咁當然我會話俾佢知我有幾多個小朋友，佢有冇小學或者中學嘅需求啦。咁我亦都自己揾咗校網，或者佢會幫我話俾我知提點我，喂原來附近嘅校網係咁樣。咁我就開始喺即係揾完之後咧，咁佢又會幫我手喎，會俾一啲盤我睇啦。大概呢啲盤譬如2個或者3個房咧，呢啲區域咧就會係咁個錢啦。咁 O 唔 OK？ 咁佢話 OK 嘅話咧，咁譬如我 confirm 嘅時候咧，咁我就會叫佢你可唔可以幫我手睇啦？咁然之後步驟就你講啦。
係啦，咁攞到個步驟之後啦，咁let's talk English.
Yeah.
Actually, we're based on her leads, and I will forward all her demand and desire to Lisa. She is finding houses around fit for her. She will give me some recommendation. I will send to her to see which one she would like to approach. So when I get her demand to see the properties, and I will let Lisa know, and she is helping us to arrange a visit. So what's the field visit like?
Yes, so usually what happens is we'll put a property on advert. The rental market at the moment is very competitive for applicants. There's not a lot of stock. I think currently in Swindon there's only 23 3-bedroom houses that are being advertised, and for a town of this size that's not a lot for going round really. So once we advertise, we get an awful lot of inquiries. We will put people through what we call a pre-qualification form before we do the visit and the viewing, and that just establishes that they're going to be the right fit. So for example, if they've got pets and we know the landlord won't accept pets, then that's something we can say straight away, I'm really sorry, but there's no point in you coming to visit this property. So it just gives us a very brief outline on what the applicant is and what they're looking for.
So
really.
they get filtered up about, so somebody could somebody could just buy it very early.
Yes.
Okay.
So once we've got people who meet the criteria, which you did, then we organise a visit to the property. We can explain what the rent is, local facilities. I know it's important for you to be close to the shops and to have a bus service nearby, so straight away I knew that one would tick those boxes for you. And then we take it forward from there. Sometimes the landlord himself or herself would like to see the applicant's forms, and other landlords are just quite happy for just ourselves to just choose. And
so they just trust you.
Yes, it depends on the landlord. I think sometimes if the landlord's lived in that house, it's been their own personal home, they like to have a little bit more say in who moves in, whereas if it's just an investment property, they're more likely to be more hands off with it.
Okay, so it's different because they really live there, they love their house, so they concern more.
Yes.
So when we make an appointment with Lisa and we will go visit the house together, and I will take the video, or as those videos you watch in the YouTube channel, is that one, we have the house tour all together, and I will send those video to the user, and the user will make her decision. So how you make your decision?
我會睇嘅係咩呢？就係例如即係你，我相信香港人都好有經驗㗎啦，對於睇樓，因為香港人真係好中意睇樓。咁樣呢，以我嘅經驗就係話，可能我會問阿 Alex 方向點啊？即係有啲人中意曬，有啲人唔中意曬。又或者好啦，嗰啲房咁你幫我睇下有冇啲咩水漬啊嗰啲啦，即係大家都明㗎啦。乾淨程度啦，或者交通方便其實好緊要，因為其實我本身就未有driving license 嘅，我未有車牌。咁所以咧我就覺得，喂，我至少我步行15-20分鐘，我真係要買到嘢，係啦，即係我唔會死人㗎嘛。咁呢樣嘢對於我嚟講好緊要，咁所以我就同 Alex 同 Lisa 講話一定要好近啦咁樣，咁同埋附近學校係咪真係都近嘅咧？咁樣呢個都係重要嘅，係咯。咁睇樓就大概都係睇呢啲啦，同埋睇下有冇啲咩電器啊嗰啲係你哋啱使㗎，或者係係咪齊全啊咁之類嘅咯，係咯，大概都係咁。
Okay. Also, Lisa, can you tell us how's your daily job every day?
Busy.
Busy?
It's busy. Every day is different. Like I say, if we've got properties advertised, the most of my work is going through applications, doing viewings. If we've got nothing vacant,
a lot of document.
Yes, lots of documents. So once Rainbow decided that you wanted to go forward for that property, for example, then we had to go through the further processing stage, which is 4 parts really. So we check your ID, that you've got the right to rent in this country. We also do a credit check, which I know was a little bit strange for you guys because I think you don't have to go through this sort of
this procedure.
So that just basically checks that you've got no bankruptcies or bad debt registered against your name. Obviously, we can only check in the UK, but we perform that check anyway. We'll check your income. So if you've got an employer, we'll make checks with them and that your salary so that you can afford the property.
So it's a safe let to the landlord.
Yes. It's all about protecting the landlord and protecting the tenant, because we don't want to place a tenant into a property that they can't afford. And if we know it's going to fail, the tenant's going to have bad debt, and it's going to be very difficult for them to get rehoused again with that debt registered against them.
So how long normally when a reference check takes?
It's normally just a few days. I've had one go through in 2 hours. I've had one take 10 days, because it depends on how quick people are coming back to us with the information. So for example, your employer has to come back to us. If you've got a landlord currently, we have to ask them for a reference. So a lot of it does depend on how quickly the information comes back to us, but generally it's very quick.
It's quite rare in Hong Kong if we ask our employer as a reference, is it?
I would like to say, in Cantonese and English both, my boss is really getting an email to asking him, is Rainbow employed by you before for more than 10 years? And then asking something like, what is my job and what's my salary, something like that, to get approval.
Yes.
So they're trying to verify if the information is right to go through the next stage.
咁因為咧喺香港咧，我相信咧你租樓咧係唔會係揾你之前嘅老闆啦，因為其實我哋離開香港，所以係之前有啲就係繼續工作緊嘅老闆都唔定。咁樣咧，但係咧喺呢度咧係真係有咁嘅需要去 check 下你之前係咪真係有呢份工作，有呢一份收入，去證明呢件事係真嘅，係啦，就係所以大家唔好見怪，呢個係 common 嘅，喺英國係需要咁做嘅，係啦。
So it's really common in the United Kingdom to go through the reference check before you really can rent a house. So you must enjoy this process.
You can make it.
唔係冇一定做到嘅，睇下你做唔做嘅啫，唔好咁心急啊。
係冇錯。
Okay, you don't need to be afraid, and
No.
it's no hurry. Okay.
No, it's all very usual here. Very usual. So the average rent for a 3-bedroom house in Swindon at the moment is just touching £1,300 a month. So most referencing companies would want the family income to be 30 times that per year. Like I say, it can be a little bit more complex when we're trying to get information from outside of the UK. So sometimes we'll ask for somebody to guarantee your rent, so a guarantor who would earn enough. Or sometimes it's easier if the payment's made up front for the full 6 or 12-month tenancy.
So, such as we offer upfront of rental, a year upfront rental to the landlord. So it makes easier to.
It's much easier, and like I said, because there's such strong competition, if you're able to do that, it puts you way ahead of everybody else, because the landlord knows that rent is secure for that period of time.
So they are very confident to let their house to you.
Yes, great confidence.
So some Hong Kong people were going to ask, where will that 12 month of rent goes?
So that doesn't go to the landlord, that stays in a client account that we have as an agency, and that's government protected. All of our certificates and everything are all on the website, so it's completely protected. So if my business was to go bust, that money wouldn't go to me, it would go back.
That's really secure,
really
under
secure.
the government control.
Yes.
So
the same with the deposits. So in this country, the maximum we can take as a security deposit for damages is 5 weeks' rent, and that gets put into a government scheme. So that doesn't even stay with us as an agency.
That's a safe net to the landlord and both the tenant too.
Yes.
Protecting each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. And after you finish the reference check, what she's going to do?
She can come and get the keys.
Congratulations!
So yeah, as soon as that's all done, we've obviously already had a discussion about what dates you're looking to move in. We had that conversation a little bit earlier, and as soon as everything's gone through, then we make an arrangement to meet you and give you the keys and give you the tour if you hadn't seen it before, which you hadn't. The first time you saw it is when you got the keys that day.
I feel very good. Everything the place is very clean. It is better than what I expected.
Good.
It's really,
I remember as the first day we pick up the key, we need to verify our personal details, make sure I'm the one who am I. So you are the right one to get the key from. So it's her job.
Yes, legally, if we haven't seen you in person, although we've seen pictures of your passports, we need to see them in person before we can give you the keys. So but that was all arranged beforehand and everything.
So let's say Rainbow is now going to purchase another house and she would like to rent out for revenue. So can you help them?
You wanted to rent out your own property? Or
She
the one?
would like to buy another house.
Okay.
So
Assume that
Yeah.
I need to do so. What should I prepare or
You'd go through different checks. If you needed to get a mortgage, then you would do. There'd be some similarities in terms of, checking your financial information and that type of thing to make sure you could afford a mortgage, which is essentially just the biggest loan you're going to have in your life. And then it's about dealing with the estate agents. Rather than myself as a letting agent, you'd work with local estate agents.
No, my question is, if she get another houses,
Yes.
not the one she already live in,
Yeah.
she buy another houses for investment, and she would like to rent
Right,
the
you'd like
house.
to rent the house out.
Yeah, so how can you help them?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you would then be my client. And I'd go through some similar checks. I'd need to check that you own the property and that is yours legally to rent out. And then we'd have a discussion about the type of people you want in the property. Again, would you like someone with pets, smokers, people who work? Some landlords don't like children in the property necessarily. So we'd have a meeting and discuss that and what sort of rent you'd like to achieve and whether that was realistic in the market. And then we'd look at advertising and everything like that for you. And then
Yeah. So can you tell us, as she is the talent, she didn't pay you actually? Is it you just earn from the landlord? Is it?
Yes. So there's a monthly commission that we take as an agency that covers obviously all the running costs, all the rent processing and everything like that. So that can range. We offer 9% at Greentree. That can go significantly higher in Swindon. If you're looking at London agents, that can be as much as 24% in London.
Wow.
Yeah, so it really does depend what part of the country you're in as to the fees you're going to pay your letting agent.
So that's quite different with Hong Kong. So Hong Kong agent is going to take revenue both from the landlord and the tenant. Two sides.
Right, okay.
So they just let you guys understand here, the talent don't pay to the agent.
No.
She just earn from the landlord.
No, it's actually a legal thing now. So there was called the tenant fee ban.
Okay, as we talked about, we didn't pay you as a tenant. So is it the law enforced it? You cannot receive it?
It is in law. So before 2019, letting agents were able to charge tenant fees. That's now illegal. So we used to be able to charge fees for the referencing, administration fees, and now that's all stopped. So we can only charge for very specific things, like if you lost the keys to your house and we had to get a landlord out, we'd be able to charge you, but it's a fixed fee. We can't just charge you whatever
So it's
we
kind
like.
of servants.
Yes, and all of this information legally is made available to you before you move in, so you know what your rights are.
So as I remember, when she moved in the house, you help her to settle the utilities,
Yes.
waters, and council tax.
Yeah.
So is it all included or from the services?
Not all letting agents do that. It's something that we offer because it makes it a lot smoother for you and for the landlord as well, that everybody knows when their bills are due and who's paying it up to what date. So we, like you say, we changed over the council tax, the water and the energy bills into your names
So it's
on
just
the day
make
you
everything
moved
clear.
in. Yes,
Yeah.
and then they can contact you directly, and we always let you know who those energy providers are as well when you move in.
So I'm going to ask you, is it confidence to should just help her to do a one-stop solution before you move in?
Really brilliant. Because I am new in UK, you help me for many of the things.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All
thank
part
you.
of the service.
So from your view, I know you are in the market for quite a year. So how is the rental market in Sweden goes?
It's very busy. Rents have gone up 10% more
10%?
than in the last 12 months. In the last 3 months of last year, they went up by 8% in just that last quarter. So there's not enough stock. There's more people looking than there are properties.
So more important, people is coming to Swindon to find houses to let.
Yeah, there's a lot of new builds in Swindon as well. So the quality of the housing here is very good, which I think draws people to the town, as well as, like I say, it's strong commuter links as well.
So, let's say for a family like her, or 4, 2 kids and a pair of parents. So, it's a 3 room. It's a 3 room
3
property.
bedroom,
It's enough. How much is going to ask about?
You're looking at around just under £1,300 a month at the moment in Swindon.
Well, so you're paying 12 months, so it's more than she's paying now. It's really, I think it's
That's
considered
the
as a good investment.
早啲嚟啊 come here earlier.
So,
Obviously, that'll be dependent, if there's a garage, if there's a garden, the area of the town it's in.
This all depends.
But that's an average, that you're looking.
Okay, Lisa, can you share about the qualification of letting agents in United Kingdom? How can I be a letting agent? Or what kind of qualification?
There's no formal qualification required as yet, which is astounding considering the amount of legal work and the assets that we're looking after for the landlord. But you do have to do several things to become a letting agent in this country. You need to have a client account, which is what we talked about earlier, what looks after the rental money, which is kept separate and ring fenced for safety. You need to be signed up to a scheme such as the Property Ombudsman, so that if there's any complaints from tenants or landlords which I can't resolve, or you're not happy with my resolution, you have an independent company to go to who will look into it on your behalf. So you have to have that, and you also need to use one of the government-backed deposit schemes, which again is to safeguard your money. So legally there are things we have to do, although you don't need the formal qualification. I got my formal qualification last year, and the first year we set up business. It is going to be coming in as standard probably in the next 3 to 4 years.
So it's going to be, but you're already achieved it.
I'm already there. So it's called ROPA, which is the Regulation of Property Agents. So it's something that you can look at and sort of see what's going to happen in the future and the expectations that the industry will have from letting agents.
So what the thing I do is, when I receive the inquiry from the client, and she told me what she looking for, and I will tell Lisa. So, am I need a license to do it?
Yeah, you don't need a license to do what you're doing. No.
So I just own a company and pay taxes.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Just pay your taxes. You'll be an introducer really to a service. So no, you don't need to be registered.
So all the money, all the documents were handling from her professional will and knowledge. So I will not touch all your documents and personal details.
No, we're registered with the Information Commissioner's Office in terms of what we do with everybody's data. It has to be safeguarded. And it's obviously, with privacy rights as well. And again, all of that information is on our website about how we can use your data legally in this country and who we can share it with.
So you have some restriction by law.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we make you aware, obviously, when you complete the forms, that we could share your details with the landlord in terms of what you earn, who you are. We'll obviously share that information with the company who do the referencing, because they need that information to reference you. But other than the people we need to share it with, that information is kept very confidential.
So if you guys have interest to finding properties around Swindon, and you guys can drop me a mail and tell me where, how many people, and what kind of houses you are finding, and I will let Lisa know, and she's going to find good properties to you to make out your choice. So thank you for you guys to watching, and can you give a big hand to Lisa, our professional agent located in Swindon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.